Welcome back. You're watching the Morning News Show on CNN News 18, and this story we have coming in, this is an update from the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, wherein the central government has proposed 28% GST implementation on online gaming, and this includes lottery, casino, horse racing. But Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman made it very clear that the move will not be hurting the industry and that the attempt is not to shut down or hurt any industry. In fact, she has said that states like Sikkim and Goa depend on these apps and games for their economy and revenue. Significantly, the government does not plan to even restrict or discourage these games. This would need an amendment in the GST Act, which the government will be doing soon. Let's have a look at the reaction that we have from Nirmala Sitharaman herself.
There will be an amendment to the Section 3 of the GST, Schedule 3 of the GST Act, and we will be bringing in online gaming into the actionable claim list, where item number 6 very clearly says betting, gaming and lotteries. Betting, gambling and lotteries are already in it. We will be including online gaming also into it, and horse racing. As a result, that actionable claim has this amendment which will be effected now. And therefore, they will be taxable, and therefore, the Council spent quite some time today deciding on, yes, they are taxable, on what? Therefore, full face value. Yes, they are taxable, how much? 28%.
Well, we have some breaking news coming in regarding this particular story, and this is about the fact that the gaming and other such related stocks have come down at a lower circuit after this 28% GST implementation decision has been announced. So we will talk to our reporter, CNN News 18's Pallavi Ghosh, who's joining us on this broadcast. Pallavi, a very good morning to you. Well, we have just gotten to know that the gaming and other such related stocks have come down to a lower circuit after this decision has been taken. Was this expected on some level after the particular decision has been announced yesterday by the Finance Minister herself?
Yes, I think it was, and in fact there was one objection which she herself referred to, that this impression shouldn't go out, that we're trying to discourage these gaming apps, and not just gaming apps, casinos, horse racing, lottery. She said, as of now, it's always been an unstructured kind of an industry, where you don't keep tabs on it. When you start applying GST on it, you also send out this message that this is something which is now acknowledged by the government, therefore they are very much structured, sporting events or apps as the case may be. And the idea is not, and she repeatedly made that point, the idea is not to discourage or ban the use of these apps. In fact, she went on to take the example of Sikkim and Goa, small states, but a lot of their revenue generation depends on, say, a casino or a lottery, and many of the horse racing, for example, that matter. And that's the reason for the implementation of 28% GST. But 28% is a huge amount. It's going to make what the stakeholders feel a dent into the profit margin, which they claim is very narrow. And that's the reason why it is reflecting as far as the stocks are concerned.
Right, Pallavi. Well, do stay with us because we do have another input coming in regarding this particular story again. And this is about the fact that the All India Gaming Federation, which represents companies like Nazara, Gamescraft, Zupi and Winzo, said that the decision made by the council is unconstitutional, irrational and egregious. The decision ignores over 60 years of settled legal jurisprudence and lumps online skill gaming with gambling activities. This decision will wipe out the entire Indian gaming industry and lead to lakhs of job losses, and the only people benefiting from this will be the anti-national illegal offshore platforms. And this is the particular quote that we have received from AIGF CEO Roland Landers. And he said that when the central government has been supporting the industry, it is unfortunate that such a legally untenable decision has been taken, ignoring the views of most GOM states who studied this matter in detail. Pallavi, coming back to you, this is the particular input that we have received, and this was the AIGF CEO Roland Landers. This is what he has said. He's called this move unconstitutional, irrational and egregious. In this particular context, he's also mentioned about how this will not just lead to unemployment amongst a lot of people, but also benefit will go out to anti-national illegal offshore platforms. How are we looking at that particular comment?
So again, on that, the government had issued a clarification, and this is a concern which is raised, is also that if you're going to apply 28% GST, then those who are working and operating and based in India, they are the ones who are going to suffer the most. Those which are not monitored, who are not possibly unauthorized, they are the ones. And in this context, the statement makes it very clear that those who are based out of abroad, they are the ones who may stand to benefit because they are very much under the ground or subterfuge in their style of working. The repeated reassurance which came in from the government has been, no, this is not the case. We do acknowledge the importance of these apps, of casinos, horse racing, so on and so forth, and therefore our aim is not to discourage it. The government's logic has been very simple, that, you also have to give the legal or authorized tag to these kind of services, and when you kind of put a GST slap of 28% or any amount of money for that matter, you acknowledge their existence, legally speaking. And also you try and ensure that they follow the rules. There has to be a certain amount of monitoring that they go through or structuring they have to go through. But there's always going to be a pitfall. There are always going to be those evasive tendencies where many of them may not want to be very open about it, who may be doing it under the table. I think that's going to be one challenge which certainly the GST regime they'll have to face. So we'll have to see what it can be possibly the next step ahead, whether there would be a review of this decision or not.
Right, Pallavi, absolutely. Well, we will keep a track of this particular development that has taken place, the announcement that has taken place yesterday. But for now, we'll slip into a short